Half man, half machine. All killer bits. In this episode, Dom has fun beating up Japanese high schoolers as Persona 4 Arena finally gets its European release. We check out the beta for new MMO Firefall and chat about the rise of freemium games. We have a ton of prizes to give away, including 200 Firefall beta keys, and thanks to our new partners at TGN, we're also giving away 3 X-Split licenses to some lucky winners. And I channel my inner 80s action hero in the Far Cry 3 Expandalone, Blood Dragon.
Hi and welcome to Kilobits. Some of the more observant of you may notice that we've actually got a new title at the beginning of the show. We're part of the TGN network now, so we'd like to say a big hi and welcome to the TGN network, and thanks for having us. And that's not the only news either. It is in other news this week.
Yeah, the new Xbox is being announced next week.
That's right, yeah.
On the 21st, is it?
Durango, isn't it the name? Durango?
I don't know, man. Like, they've been buying up the domain names everywhere for Xbox Fusion.
Okay.
Which is...
I think it's
sounds
all right.
like a razor.
It's alright. Yeah, the best a man can get.
I don't know, man. Everyone knows the PlayStation's the best a man can get. Nah, I'm not good. I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with saying that at all.
Yeah.
Controller going to largely stay the same. Which
I'm quite pleased about
God,
that.
that's
though.
so much.
That's one of the best things they could have done.
No
really.
gimmicks.
Yeah.
No nothing.
One of the best
Just
things they could have
buttons and
done.
control sticks. No gimmicks. No touchscreens. No backlights. No motion controls. Perfect.
Well, kind of no motion control, because they've actually built into the...
They built Kinect in, haven't they?
Yeah, they've Xbox, it comes bundled with Kinect now.
Yeah,
so.
it is.
Which is no use to me.
I think they've done a couple of good mini games for the Kinect, and the rest of it's been pointless.
Good old E3 this year, thanks to Microsoft. Have you seen Nintendo aren't doing
Yeah,
a
they're not
conference?
doing it.
I mean, they're doing a series of Nintendo Directs where Iwata stumbles through broken English to tell you about the new Animal Crossing, which is going to be really fucking cool. And I can't wait for the Wii U to actually be supported, since, one game came out for it this month, and that was Injustice Gods Among Us, which everyone knows is Injustice God Awful.
So, PlayStation 4, the Watch Dogs trailer.
November the 22nd.
That's it, yeah. Into the Watch Dogs thing.
Will it be, once again, Sony beating them to the punch but coming out a little bit premature, or will this...
There was that whole Blu-ray thing, wasn't there?
Oh god, yeah, of course. PlayStation own exclusivity rights to the technology of Blu-ray, which means that the Xbox won't be released with Blu-ray
until the contract with Sony is up, because Sony are like, no!
Which is great if you like to...
No! Stay back!
Which is great if, like me, you like to change discs in the middle of an important moment.
New games coming out on it. Any hints on anything? There's...
I expect there'll probably be a Halo.
Call of Duty Ghost, was it?
Oh god, why did you mention it?
Yeah. Hey, do you like playing the same game on this console generation once a year? Why not continue the trend? Death of gaming.
Buy a new console, play the same game.
Fuck.
Trying to watch the trailer was like slowly killing.
Isn't it just a little live action piece of shit?
Yeah, it is just a piece of shit.
Like the new XCOM's not dead. New trailer for that, The Bureau.
I've not seen that.
Really?
Oh yeah, because they changed the name of it and all that sort of stuff, didn't they? It's been
now it's The Bureau console XCOM.
Mm-hmm.
So it is console XCOM. Let's be fucking honest with ourselves.
Desperate fighting program amongst high school students.
Come on down!
Persona 4 Arena. What can I say? I've been excited for this game since Persona 4. I'm a bit of a late starter to the whole series, and I'm still playing through Persona 4 Golden, but when I saw that P4A was coming out and I saw all the trailers, I fangirled a little bit too much. P4A is a game to suit most gamers, even the ones who are totally new to the Persona series and the fighter genre. It has options to play through the story, which is a lengthy 30 plus hours long, or you can play arcade mode, which is the short, quick version of the story option, and throws you straight into the action and fighting without reading a ton of dialogue or leaving you in the dark with the story plot. The fighting style is a lot like BlazBlue's, which is no coincidence, as P4A was developed by Arc System Works, the team behind BlazBlue. As with many fighting games these days, P4A features an online option where you can choose between standard, ranked or player matches, which is awesome because I love playing online with P4A. I get really competitive, so for people like myself, it's perfect. I experienced a bit of lag with it though, but whether that was my internet connection or the game itself, I'm not too sure. But after a bit of research, I found that people had been having problems with the online a little as well, which isn't good. But on my end, other than the lag, it was fine. Super duper. If you don't fancy playing online and just want to play with a friend, you also have a nice multiplayer option as well. Okay, so Arena is set 2 months after Persona 4. The Midnight Channel has been appearing on the TV again, and it's up to the investigation team to reform and figure out what's going on. The story mode is pretty complex. Even though there's one set story, each character has their own storyline you can complete and go through. The RPG elements shine through in story mode with the amazingly written narrative and voice actors to boot. Once you start on it, you won't stop, and that's a promise. I also love that you're able to use your personas in battle to aid you. The super awesome thing about it is that you have to be careful and time the persona usage right, as your persona can get blocked. If hit too many times, it means you're unable to use them again until your meter is fully charged. This adds a massive challenge to battle as you use your persona a lot with the combo moves. Every persona is fitted to the fighter and their skills, making their moves and fighting styles unique. It's easy to find one that you prefer over others, as there's something to suit everyone. Whether you prefer fire, ice or physical attacks, there's always something to suit the player. The combos are really easy to pick up and perform. There's a beginner auto combo option which allows new players to perform combos with a few rapid presses of one button, which is perfect for the new starters. But for the more experienced players, you can perform the combos with more complex button movements. There's a lot going on screen as well, so it's worth your time to go and learn everything you need to keep your eye on, such as boost levels, super meters and a ton more. It's hard to just pick it up when jumping straight into a game like this, but not to worry, as training mode is there to aid you, and it will teach you all the ins and outs and will set you up nicely for your first fight. The challenge mode is something not to be missed and worth doing if you feel like you've mastered every move of the character. It starts off really simple and then goes into the big combos, which I'm yet to master. I'll do it one day. Challenge mode gives P4A a reason not to put the controller down when the story is done, as there's so much more to do. P4A also sports some really vivid and colourful themes, and the soundtrack is double as amazing. To sum it up, I'd say it just looks pretty, it sounds pretty, and it's just amazingly gorgeous, just like Akihiko. In a few words, to describe P4A, it's a lot like a can of Pringles. Once you pop, you literally can't stop, and it's a game that you should not miss, so therefore I'm giving it a really high 8 out of 8 bits.
The battle begins tonight!
Right, so recently I've been playing a bit of Firefall, the beta edition that we've got and we've been given.
The MMO shooter.
MMO shooter, third or first person and stuff, and yeah, it's good fun. I've been having a right giggle on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I've actually really enjoyed it. I've actually had a good time on it.
That's the thing, like, I'm not a big MMO guy, like, at all.
I'm not either.
I mean, there's just so much grinding.
Yeah, I've got involved in quite a few of them, but I generally just lose enthusiasm after a little while, because, you know, you're just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, does that ring true for Firefall?
Yes, a little bit, but it does also try and introduce as much variation as possible, so there aren't just quests with exclamation marks above people's heads. It's random events that happen, and there are a variety of different kind of tasks you can do, kind of different mission structures, and you can just go and join in these things all around the world map, which is based in Brazil. That's the last stronghold.
That's the last bastion of human resistance.
That's right, yeah.
Fair enough.
So,
I mean, they're really good at football. Maybe they'll be really good at shooting aliens?
Who knows?
They are good at shooting the goal.
That was terrible.
Yeah. So how does the level up stuff work?
Well, instead of having levels up, you just use a crafting-based system, which is essentially just a waiting game, really. You collect resources, you refine the resources, then you make the refined resources into components, and then you make the components into weapons, armour, all sorts of stuff like that.
That sounds really long-winded and terrible.
The longest wait I've had on there is about an hour and a half for refining
That's
items.
absolutely ridiculous.
You could watch 12 Angry Men.
And you could watch more Angry Men if you wanted. But so yeah, that's the general gist of it. Gist of it is grinding, just constant grinding.
Right.
So
is there any way to circumvent that?
There is. You can use the freemium based kind of background for it to buy in-game cash with real money. and then you use those tokens to speed up the thing. So
why is it that everything's freemium these days?
Everything is.
I mean, admittedly, people play these freemium games loads and loads and loads. I mean, look at the audience for Team Fortress 2, an already incredibly popular game, which went freemium and suddenly skyrocketed everywhere because people were going online, and people get duped. People buy hats.
Yeah.
People actually spend money on cosmetic stuff for their, for their heavy, so they can make them look like Dolph Lundgren or whatever.
That's it. I mean, you've also got the thing of these things like LOL and DOTA that have been
MOBAs.
Yeah.
They're big business.
A lot of money in those.
I mean, go on Twitch whenever, and 99% of people are just watching like nerds play Dota.
Not even just playing it, but watching it as well. Like, it's
there is like a mass.
I love esports, but the idea that an esport could be freemium is really weird as well, because like look at StarCraft. Like 1, you didn't have to pay for like a hat for your Zerg. Whereas now, like, you can customize your character to such a huge degree and personalize it. And I don't know. I don't see any downside to it. And the company's making money, but I mean, surely eventually you're going to unbalance the game accidentally.
Well, I mean, the thing that's what happened with PlanetSide 2, in my opinion, is that when I was playing that, it's also a freemium-based structure.
Unlike PlanetSide 1, which was subscription.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of the sign of the times.
Modern.
I mean, I played it for hours and hours on end, though, and I mean, I didn't earn enough in-game cash to buy a single upgrade for...
So you'd have to put in like tons and tons of hours.
So much time, and just to get a new weapon.
That's kind of a good thing.
Would you rather put in those hours or pay £1.50?
I guess
I think you should be, if it's gonna force you to play the game that much, it becomes a grind and you don't enjoy it, so you don't pay any money for it. I think if you were enjoying the game that much and you put in that time, you'd feel like it was an investment and you would spend the extra money on getting the extra stuff.
I don't know though, man.
It's more like if you carry on.
No, you go on.
No.
You go on.
Might know.
The thing that I find is that like the first freemium games I found were like Maple Story and Rose Online and Life of
Korean based ones.
Yeah, all these Korean grindfest MMOs, which didn't reward you with the freemium items for grinding. They like the cash shop and the game were completely separate. I mean, you get cosmetic weapons or like a giant laser beam that could decimate everything on the screen, but you wouldn't have the game broken by this because they were so separate.
The only place I've ever spent any money in a microtransaction game is on Runes of Magic with I bought basically a bird chicken thing to ride around on. It was a mount, but I felt it was money well spent. I was spending a lot of time on the game and I really enjoyed it, so and it got me around quicker. So
can you please repeat to me what you thought your money was?
Well spent on chicken.
You bought a chicken. Like, not even
How
real.
much did you
not
spend?
a real chicken. You had a tag on a database for your account. Clicked.
Yeah.
For how much?
I think it was about £3.
Oh dear God.
£3.
Yeah.
That's a Subway and a drink.
Meal deal.
But I mean, I spent a lot. I put a lot of time into the game. And the mount actually got me around in the game a lot better.
Could you not have done that without paying £3 for a chicken?
I'm just shocked that you paid.
To a point, yes, but you would have to go to a city to hire a mount for a set amount of time with in-game money.
From a roleplay perspective, would that not be more realistic?
Kind of, yeah. Instead of having a chicken in your pocket, that you just
In your pocket.
We're done here. So, the real question is, I mean, freemium's obviously here to stay, but is it a good thing? Does it break games, or does it just mean that people have more customization?
If it's done right, it's good. If it's done for cosmetic reasons and it only adds things that are just slightly more convenient, then it's better. But if it's not like that, if it's completely game breaking, it makes an advantage for some players and not for others, then I think that's a bad thing. But I think it's here to stay either way. Either way, it looks like it's here to stay.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know. I've got mixed opinions on it. I'm just shocked that you spent £3 on a chicken.
You can't get over that, yeah.
I actually can't.
So, if you'd like to spend money on pointless database-based ticks, we've got 200 beta keys for Firefall to give away. Just keep watching. You'll find out how to get them.
Nobody threatens my planet.
Michael Biehn is Sergeant Rex Power Colt.
Now, I can say with absolute certainty that the 1980s are responsible for maybe 99% of the good things in the world today. From Mario to Zelda to, well, me. 8-track, Matthew Broderick in War Games, hair metal, me. The 1980s was a truly remarkable time, and ever since then video games have tried to recapture and emulate that spirit which has long since passed. Now, where do you even begin when reviewing a game like Blood Dragon? Well, how about a little context? The Far Cry franchise has had a long and illustrious history with spin-offs which fundamentally changed the gameplay of their original products. Namely, Far Cry Instincts and Far Cry Predator, both of which focused, as Blood Dragon has done, on a console market, and both of which have introduced new gimmicks and features into their game, also like Blood Dragon. It's just a shame that both of those games licked the shit from inside my anus and redistributed it all over my television set. The gameplay was a stunted imitation of what made the original Far Cry so good, and the new gimmicks were, well, they made little to no sense, and were, in my opinion, no fun whatsoever. With this history of failure behind it, how in the hell can Blood Dragon be so damn good? I mean, just look at it. Look at the gameplay footage on your screen right now. Look how everything has a neon sheen to it. How the enemies are all bike helmet-clad cyborgs whose hearts you rip out. Look at the main character, Rex Power Colt's cyborg arm, and tell me that's not the greatest thing you've ever seen. It's almost self-explanatory what makes this game so good. It's an over-the-top romp through the late 20th century, in an alternate present as predicted way back in the era of VHS.
Doors opening by themselves? I love 2007.
The characters are all witty action stereotypes from Spidey or Deceased Partner,
Force style, motherfucker!
to Dr. Darling, the shameless love interest.
I never thought a cyber commando could be so gentle.
Add to that a protagonist who cracks wise after every kill,
Went out with a bang.
and can chain both takedowns and middle fingers, and you have a setting the charm of which I don't even need to convey. The plot, such as it is an absolute highlight in a games industry obsessed with gritty realism or zany humour. Blood Dragon takes every 80s action cliché and hypercharges it to an absolutely brilliant effect. There were a few moments where I cringed at how hard it seemed to be trying to be funny, such as the absentee boss the Man-Kraken.
Release the Man-Kraken!
But for the most part, the game managed to keep me chuckling and feeling like a superhuman badass simultaneously, which is something I haven't felt since GLaDOS. The game looks absolutely incredible. I've mentioned the neon already, but when you take Far Cry 3's engine, slam it through a filter, and make everything glow, you're left with something that looks more like a retail game than a downloadable title, which is an incredible accomplishment. The game also cuts out a lot of the mindless guff from Far Cry 3. There's no more hunting to upgrade ammo, no more magic tattoo that decides where your upgrades go. It's pure run-and-gun cyber commando action, and it is glorious. But wait, surely cutting content's a bad thing, right? Well, not really in this case. I mean, they've kept all of the good stuff from Far Cry 3 and all the additional missions, all of the friendly animals for you to slaughter, but they've taken out all of the guff, you know? The killing 15 bears to make yourself a new ammo pouch, and that's nothing but a good thing. I suppose what endears me to this game the most is that it feels like Far Cry 3, but without taking itself quite as seriously. Far Cry 3 was a dumb, fun action game where you burned marijuana fields, but this is a fun, dumb action game where you burn dinosaur eggs in order to stop a zombie uprising. All of the animals have also been given a new metallic texture, and there's fucking cyber sharks. Go ahead, try and say the words cyber shark out loud, and try not to smile. I dare you. As far as the game feels, it plays exactly like Far Cry 3. You still liberate strongholds and have solid gunplay mixed with driving, hang gliding, and over-the-top missions, but the setting and game feel different enough that it manages to stay fresh. The missions are a joy too, using all traditional video game tropes such as destroying a facility or rescuing an NPC, but infusing them with almost microcosmic plots so that each one feels self-contained, while almost always working towards the central goal of stopping Omega Force. How is this not the greatest 80s movie that never happened? It's everything Far Cry 3 was, but condensed into a smaller, more concentrated dosage, and because of that, it almost seems to work better, with authentically 80s voice acting in the vein of Snake Plissken or John Matrix. A soundtrack that makes you feel like you're on top of the world, and no bullshit moments of unfunny schlock. We've got something truly special here. It's not very often that a game comes along which is this good, and I've been really lucky the last couple of months. Last month I got to play Bioshock Infinite, a game which fell slightly short due to the setting. This month, however, I got to play Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, a perfect game about a cyber commando that fights dinosaurs. My life is fucking sweet. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to give this game a full bite. That's right, the epitome of gaming excellence. 8 out of 8 whole bits. For a downloadable title, it's pretty fucking sweet. You should definitely go and check it out if you haven't already. Right, and last things last, before we go, we've got to announce the winners of last month's competition, the question for which was, if you could turn any science fiction television show into a video game, what would it be and why? And the winners are Dave Cullen, who chose Sequest DSV as a beat-em-up, so I could kick the shit out of that smug-faced bastard dolphin, which is kind of wise. And Stephen Monaghan, who said he would make Fringe into a video game because of its multiverse, like Bioshock Infinite, funky experimental weapons, powers backed up by science, an open-world setting, and some of the cast have been in video games such as L.A. Noire, so the voice acting would be great. And of course we had the grand prize for a video response, which was won by Stuart Mitchell.
Hey guys, the series I reviewed would be Firefall, because 1, Space Cowboys, and 2, it's just plain awesome. So yeah, get that into the game.
So you guys have all won yourselves some squid grips for your controllers and sharpshooters for your televisions. And Stu, you've won the grand prize for your video response of a copy of Bioshock Infinite for PC. Hope you can run it, mate.
And we've also this month got a brilliant prize. We've got 200 beta keys to give away for Firefall. So if you want to get yourself one of those, just click the subscribe button and put a comment in the comment section below on our video. And also we've got 3 XSplit licenses to give away. Each of those is 3 months, and we'll pick 3 comments at random, and you'll have those on the way to you.
So thanks TGN for those lovely gifts to give away.
As always, guys, if you want to get in touch with us, go over to Facebook, and it's facebook.com/thekillerbits. We're also on Twitter, which is twitter.com/thekillerbits. And if you want to give us a like, the button's down there if you like the show, and also hit subscribe.
Is that still above? I can never keep track of YouTube anymore. Like, they're changing around so much. Like, when a movie comes out and it shows YouTube, it's already changed.
Yeah. I know.
So I'm like, this isn't real, you asshole.
YouTube, sort your lives out, for God's sake. Keep it in one place.
Also, thanks for hosting our videos.
Yeah, that would be.
Bye.
Bye.